Okay, let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to CRI2101 Critical Analysis Online Lecture. This is week 10. This is me, Miss Farah, live from somewhere else around the world. So, how are you guys doing with the lockdown going on? How are you guys? Are you okay? Are you alright? Wherever that you guys are, I hope that you guys are safe with your family, and please stay at home because that is the best thing that we should be doing right now. And I think that a lot of you guys are pretty much enjoying this. Yeah, I know that you guys are enjoying this extra holiday, but please make sure that you guys are on track because this semester is still going on, even though that we are currently doing online learning mostly. Okay, so for my life, basically this is me trying to work from home. I don't know if it's working or not, but discipline is the key, and I think this is a both learning time and learning process for not just you guys but for me as well, getting to discipline myself, which is hard, but it's fine. So as I mentioned, even though that we are now currently not having the opportunity to go for face-to-face learning, but please do not forget to do your assignments. And this is very important because we are still halfway off the semester. We still have a lot of things to cover, and we are going to attempt to do it online, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the future holds. I'm still not sure about the consequences or what's going to happen in the future, but we will definitely keep you guys updated. First and foremost, I wanted to highlight that the reason why I wasn't, updating you guys a lot from last week, it's because we have this sort of like on-off situations going on, and for some reasons, firstly, that we have to do our classes online, and then suddenly the government said like we're not supposed to do classes online, and then we're going back to doing classes online, and the due or the dates that we're allowed to do classes starting today, 24th of March, which explains why I've been, MIA for quite some time last week. So I really do apologize for the confusion, for the trouble, and I think some of you guys did email me, and I tried my best to reply to those emails. And I gotta say, guys, that it's quite overwhelming for me as well because I think for both of us, students and also lecturers, we've never encountered such problems, this situation where we kind of like have to do distance learning, but still we're trying our best to adapt and to be flexible on whatever kind of assignments and whatever kind of learning that we have to do. So I really do appreciate your cooperation, your concerns throughout this whole thing going on. And I can say that we are doing quite okay, quite well, I guess. So please do not worry. If you still are very confused and you don't know what to do, please do not hesitate to email me, okay? Right, let's just jump into what we're going to talk about. I think this recording will be very short. What I want to cover is pretty much on the assignments and lots of assignments. But I understand with the circumstances that we are in, I'm going to extend some of the assignments, and I'm going to talk about it in a bit with your assignments. And today as well, I want to cover 6 thinking hats, which is the last component of your case study. I also will be talking in details later, and this is very important because this is marked and is part of your course assignments. And lastly, hopefully, if we're going to talk about some of the ways that we are going to deal with this distance learning. I understand when it comes to online learning, virtual learning, there is certain kind of challenges that we might face throughout this RMO or restriction movement order or this lockdown thing. And I will try my best as a lecturer to help you guys to assist in your learning. In a way, we're going to talk about how we are going to deal with it as well, lastly in this short lecture. Okay? Alright, let's talk about assignments because that all that matters, am I right? So I want to highlight on your tests first. Okay, so what we have proposed before, your test 2, which is an open book test, should be in week 11. Am I right? And now it's week 10, and we still do not know if this lockdown is going to be extended, or we're gonna come eventually go back to our campus. I still do not know, but what I know right now is that your tests will perhaps be changed to week 13 or week 14. And yet again, as I mentioned, this is subject to change because we do not know what's gonna happen. All right, so meanwhile, I'm going to try my best to cover all of the syllabuses into online lectures, and please make sure that you guys listen to those lectures, understand what it is, and I will try my best to make it more easier for you guys to understand via online learning itself. So that is for your tests. I want to talk about your group project, your case study, which is very, very crucial, very, very important. A lot of changes are done in here, in particular to the extension of the dates. So first and foremost, I want to talk about the proposal and also SWOT. So for your SWOT and proposal, which should be in a formal presentation as well, I have extended the dates for your SWOT, for your proposal, to be this Sunday, 29th of March 2020, 11:59 p.m. Okay, so that is it for it. And not only that, for your presentation, I think all of the group members, all of the groups have submitted your presentation in the Google Drive. I've seen it, but I'm going to talk about it in a bit because I want you guys to upload your slides in there, because it also in relation to your 6 Thinking Hats group project as well. So for your presentation, it's also due on this Sunday, 29th of March 2020, 11:59 p.m. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys have all of you have sort of like you guys have uploaded in Google Drive. What I'm going to do now is that I will be watching those presentation, and based on those presentation, I will comment on your proposal and also your SWOT. So please take note on the comments. Maybe I'm going to do it in another online lecture, or maybe I'm just going to write it in your group wiki. Please stay tuned and have a look at it. I'm going to post an announcement Blackboard in details about it. So based on my comments, which is also what I'm seeing from your presentation, please do make changes if you feel like you want to get more marks. Okay, so the reason why I'm making it due on 29th of March is because I want to watch your presentation, and I want you guys to sort of like make changes, and I want you guys to improve on your proposal and also on your SWOT, just so you can get extra marks. Okay, so please stay tuned into those things that I will talk about in the next video, or maybe in the next announcement. So please stay tuned to it. For your 6 Thinking Hats, the due date for 6 Thinking Hats will be Sunday, 5th of April 2020, 11:59, which is a week later of these 3 things. Okay, so it's in 2 more weeks, I guess. This one, I'm going to talk about it in details after this as well. Okay, so for your tutorial now, because I think a lot of these submissions will be on 29th of March, originally your tutorial 2 is also due this Sunday, 29th of March, 11:59. I feel like it can be a little bit overwhelming. Hence, I'm going to extend the reflection or tutorial 2, which is 15% of your marks, to be on Wednesday, 1st of April, 2020, 11:59 p.m. Okay, I hope with this extension of dates, you should be having a lot more time to think about your assignments, to actually do it. So I'm extending this one as well. Okay. This one, I'm going to talk about it later. This is not a huge problem yet. So these 3 things, the tests, your group project, and also your tutorial, I have extended the dates. Okay, please take note on this. Now, as I mentioned, your reflection is extended. It's no longer on 29th of March. Everything is due on the same day. Hence, I feel like I want to give you guys more chances. But I think some of you guys have submitted your assignment. So if you have submitted your assignment, you feel like you want to redo the assignment, please email me to say that you want to extend. But if you feel like it's fine, that's the final reflection that you want to submit to me, then it's fine. You don't have to email me anything. All right, so this one is due 1st of April 2020 instead of 29th of March. Okay, so this one is on Wednesday. Next, we're going to talk about your case study. This is 30% of your marks, guys. All right, so for the first 4 pages, it should be done. You guys should not do any more changes because it has been marked. Okay, that's the final one. So page 1, 2, 3, and 4 is basically done. But for your page 5 and 6, which are proposal and SWOT, as I mentioned, I will be giving comments. I will be giving my feedback based on your presentation, and I hope that you can make changes based on those feedbacks so that you can get more higher marks for this. And the due date for it, for these two, are on 29th of March, 11:59, which will be on this Sunday. Okay, and lastly is your 6 thinking hats. So I'm going to talk about your 6 thinking hats in a bit because I also want to introduce you guys to these 6 thinking hats as well. Alright, so for your presentation, again, I'm just going to recap because all of you guys have uploaded this in the Google Drive. I've double checked it, so well done, guys. Make sure your presentation covers your proposal and also your SWOT analysis. Okay, it's important for you guys to actually write your name, or if you can put it in the video, your name, that will be lovely, because for your presentation, this one is individual. So everybody from each group would have different marks. So I'm gonna give different marks to each people. Hence, I need everyone's name just so I don't mix up between your names. Okay, I apologize. I really am bad with names, and I know your faces definitely, but sometimes I don't remember your names. Hence, I need your name to be written there. If you cannot write it, please just say it. It's very important as well. Alright, the second important thing is that in your Google Drive, in my Google Drive that I shared with you guys, please remember to upload your slides. This is very important for your 6 thinking hats because your friends will be evaluating your presentation, your group's case study or project or solution. So in order to make it much more easier for them, rather than just listening into it, please do not forget to upload your slides in your Google Drive as well. Okay, so that one is important, and that one you have to upload your slides before 29th of March, which is also this Sunday. Okay, so here what I did is that I have made different folders for different groups, and each folder I want everybody to upload just one slide. Okay, one PowerPoint slides that you guys have used, like everybody used. Put it there so that it's easier for your friends to refer to it when they are doing 6 thinking hats. Okay, now this one is for my CRI2101 1B, section 1B, and this one is for my CRI2101 1D. Okay, so please make sure that you guys upload your slides in your respective folders. All right, so please do that. Now I want to proceed into talking about 6 thinking hats, but before that I'm just going to sip some water because I'm thirsty. Alright, so let's talk about 6 thinking hats. You also have another task for 6 thinking hats, which is basically like a listening task. I've given you a link to one YouTube video on 6 thinking hats, which is like super short. that six thinking hat video from YouTube should be able to summarize a lot of things in the six thinking hats, the basics, the introduction. So it will help you greatly to understand six thinking hats better. And please do it before this Sunday. That one will serve as your attendance list for this week. So please complete it. Okay, so I want you guys to be doing that one as well, but I will also try to sort of like summarize the whole six thinking hats in a bit. Okay, so when we talk about six thinking hats, obviously we have, different hats, different colors of hats. The first one is the black hat. Second one is the blue hat. Third one is the white hat. Fourth is red, as you can see. Fifth is green hat. And lastly, we have the yellow hat. So each hat in these six thinking hats represent different things or different ways, different strategies for you to use for analyzing certain things, right? So let's go into the cheesy part. So what are some of the benefits of using six thinking hats? I don't think I should be getting into details about it. I'm just going to talk about it briefly. Number one, it's good for role playing. You put on different hats so that you can think differently in different domains. Not only that, it also encourages a lot of creative, parallel, and literal thinking. It improves communication because you are thinking from different perspectives. Hence, you should be able to communicate. You should be able to sort of like articulate your point of view from different perspectives. Not only that, it also speeds up the decision making. It helps you to think critically. One of the reasons why we have to use six thinking hats is because we want to avoid debate. So when we talk about it, we try to understand in a lot of different perspectives. Hence, you're thinking it through so that you won't reject or you won't have different opinions or different debates about each other. Not only that, you try to detach your ego. Ego is when you try to think in one perspective. Egocentrism is when you try to be, self-centeredness. You have your own opinion. You don't want to listen to anyone else. But using six thinking hats, you should be able to sort of like put your thinking into different perspectives. Hence, you try to detach from your ego. Sometimes it's also good to have single hat where you choose one hat and you think about it in that kind of scope. It's also good for sequence use. Sometimes some people want to have certain process that goes through it, and in each different process you would have sort of like different hats that you would use. Okay, so these are the cheesy parts of why you should use six thinking hats. Now let's get into detail in each component of different hats. So the first one, we have white hat. So white hat is always what we associate with, or what we call as the detective. Okay, so basically white hats, we deal with a lot of figures, with a lot of data, with a lot of figures and information, basically research. Okay, so white hat would try to focus on data. You try to research, you try to study for information, and then you talk to yourself, what can you learn from these data? Okay, so some of the questions that you might want to ask yourself when you're putting into your white hat are, what are the information that we have here? What do the data say? Second, what kind of information that is lacking, that is missing from here? Next, what information would we like to have? Okay, what are some of the crucial information? Maybe you want to put a survey, maybe you want to inquire more. Okay, maybe you also want to think about how are we going to get this information. Some of your groups for this case study, you guys have been doing this when you try to conduct a survey. From that survey, this is also you trying to put in your white hat. One important thing that you have to understand when it comes to white hat is that you have to maintain a very neutral, a very objective stand. And you have to look at the research, you have to look at the data that is being presented. Are these data enough? Or do you need more data? What can you improve from this data? Are these data correct? and informing the right thing to the public. So those are the things that you might want to consider when you are putting into your white hat. Okay, so let's move on next to the red hat. So when we talk about red hat, we often think about the heart. Okay, our heart, because it's dealing with feelings, it's dealing with emotions. So red hat is mostly talking about feelings, intuitions, emotions, and a bit of hunches. So do not ever think that your hunch are not good, but it's actually very correct. So sometimes intuitions, guts are very important as well. So when we talk about red hat, we wanna mostly when it comes to red hat, I want you guys to be thinking about how people will react to this decision, to this case study, to this solution emotionally. Would they like this? Would they not like this? Why wouldn't they like this? Why would they, prefer this instead of something else? So I want you guys to be focusing on the feelings, emotion, intuition, or hunches that you have towards the stakeholder, towards the people who will be affected from this decision making process, from the case study that you guys will be working on. Okay, so that's it. Moving on to black hat right now. So when we talk about black hat, we often associate with the reaper. Okay, or in Malay we call it malaikat maut lah. So when we talk about black hat, we often talk about caution, difficulty, a bit of judgment, and perhaps you can say assessment. A lot of negative things being inserted in black hat. But some of the questions that you might want to ask yourself when you're putting into your black hat are, is this true? Is this data correct? Will it work? Are these steps or are these processes bringing justice or can give the best of everything? Would it work? I want you to focus a lot on the bad points, not in a bad way, but like in a form of criticism. Like you want to learn something, yeah. Highlight on the weak points of the case study of your friend. Okay, so you can also focus on your danger or some of the possible flaws, some of the loopholes, some of the negative thing that might arise from the case study that your friend is doing. Okay, so try to focus on the danger, try to focus on the bad points of the decision that is being made. Okay, so black hat is always the negative part. Okay, moving on next to our yellow hat. So yellow is always associated with very positive, very cheerful kind, and we call yellow hat as the sun, right? So when we have the sun, obviously we're just mostly going to focus on the positive. So this is like the opposite of the black hat. So yellow hats is always talking about benefits, optimism, positive side of the case study. So try to ask these questions like, why is this case study worth doing? Why is the solution very good? What are the benefits? Why can it be done? Why is it suitable to be done in our community? Why is it good? And why will it work? Why do you think that this solution or this case study is going to be beneficial for the community? Why this is something that is workable in your context? So I want you guys to be positive, to be radiant, to be very welcoming on the idea. Try to discuss about the value of the proposal or the case study of your friends. Okay, so next is green hat. So green hat is when you use your creative part. So this is something that we often associate with seedling. Seedling is a kind of like like plants just about to burst out the seed. Okay, so It often involves or associated with creative ideas, some alternatives, some suggestions, or even proposals. So some of the questions that you want to ask yourself when you're doing your green hat are questions like, are there some additional alternatives to it? What could be done differently rather than this one? Could we do it in a different way? Could there be another explanation to this? And what could be some of the possible solutions or even causes of action that could be done instead of this one? So I want you, when you are putting into your green hat, I want you to expand this idea into something that is much more unique rather than just this. So basically, green hat is always talking about providing a different alternative, a better idea or a better solution to this. Okay, next, I think this is the last one. This is what we call a blue hat. Blue hat is often associated with the director. When we talk about director, we often look into the management part of it. Hence, we're looking at the process that is being done. So this is something that we call metacognition, as well as when you try to process, when you try to arrange everything in your head. So you put on your blue hat. So blue hat is basically summing up what is being learned, what is being discussed. Organization of thinking is mostly looking at the reflection of everything that has been done. Okay, so some of the examples of the questions or the processes that involved in blue hat is mostly thinking about setting an agenda, setting like certain processes that it's being through, try to suggest what could be the possible next steps that you want to do, ask for different hats. Maybe in this process, this hat is not suitable, you want to focus on using another hat instead. Try to ask for summaries, conclusions, and decisions. So these are the steps that involved in blue hat. Okay, so that is when you use your managerial or the director of the whole processes of it. Okay, so that is it for 6 thinking hats. So 6 thinking hat is very straightforward as well. If you still do not understand, as I mentioned, I have provided you guys with a link on YouTube link with the 6 thinking hats. So it should be very straightforward. But what I want you to take away from this theory of 6 thinking hats is that for your case study, what you have to do is that you have to provide an analysis based on one group. So basically, you have your own groups, am I right? I'm gonna decide, or I'm gonna announce in a bit, you should be working or you should be analyzing which group. Okay, so based on that group's proposal or that group's solution, I want you to provide an analysis, not all 6 thinking hats, not all, only 4. These 4 are white, yellow, black, and also green. So using your knowledge in 6 thinking hats, only for these 4 colors, I want you to make an analysis based on your friend's group. Okay, so for this matter, I want you to post or to create or to write in page 7 of your group wiki. Try to complete it before 5th of April 11:59 p.m. or the midnight. Okay, so you can refer to your friend's presentation and also the PowerPoint slides that they will be uploading in the Google Drive. Okay, so the groups that will be working now for CRI section 1B. Okay, for 1B, David's group will be analyzing Gansinyi's group. Okay, Jason's group will be analyzing Lee Kainam's group. Edmund, your group will be looking at Catherine's group. Catherine, you'll be looking at Edmund's group. Kainam, you'll be looking at Jason's group, and Gansinyi, you'll be looking at Davy's group. So basically, you guys are doing each other's sort of like proposal. So based on your friend's presentation and slides, hence you should be able to use the 6 thinking hats. Please remember, I only want you guys to be working on these 4 hats. white, yellow, black, and green. Okay, so only these 4 hats. Write it, put it in page 7. Try to make it very organized. If you think that you want to put a table or you want to write it doesn't matter really, but I really want it, try to make it easy for me and also other lecturers to read it when we're sort of like opening into your group wikis. Okay, so that is for 6 thinking hats. Okay, I also want to make an announcement. I understand that it could be a little bit hard to communicate because right now we're doing online classes and it's really hard to make an appointment face to face. Am I right? So I have created a WhatsApp support group. So please remember, I don't want you guys to be abusing my number on WhatsApp because it can be very overwhelming for me as well. I am currently teaching 5 subjects. Sorry, I think I'm teaching 6. Yeah, I'm teaching 6 different subjects or classes right now. So it could be very, very overwhelming for me as well. So please, I have some general rules for a WhatsApp group. I do not want everybody to be in the group because it's going to be very noisy. And because right now we are working from home, I have lots and lots of WhatsApp groups, so please be nice to me. It can be very overwhelming for me. So only one representative, one person from each group is allowed to join the group. So I don't care whoever that is, please decide among yourself. And I want one group leader or one representative to be in the group, because if there is any announcement or anything, any updates, I will put it in the group WhatsApp. Alright, this is very important. Please only WhatsApp or message me in the group itself, only in the group during this time, okay, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is during office hour. I'll try my best to answer within 24 hours. Okay, so please remember, you're not allowed to personal WhatsApp me. It's very, very overwhelming for me. I'm teaching thousands of students. It's very overwhelming. I cannot possibly reply to every single WhatsApp. On top of that, I also have other things to do as well. So please respect my privacy. Any inquiries should be delivered to your group representative, okay, and that friend will ask only in group. So you're not allowed to personal WhatsApp me. So if you have something personal or anything that you feel that you don't want to talk to your group representative, you can email me instead, and I will try my best to reply to that email within 24 hours as well. So I hope that you guys will not abuse this WhatsApp group. And I do believe that you guys will be doing a great job handling this WhatsApp group. Okay, so only one representative. You guys decide whoever that is. I'm not gonna call names. Okay, only one representative. Please enter our support group. You can click on this link to join our WhatsApp group. Okay, so this is very important. Please have one person from each group to enter this WhatsApp group. Okay, so in summary, I just want to conclude everything just so that you guys get everything that I'm saying. So please remember, these are the due dates for all of your assignments. This Sunday, you have to complete your presentation, your proposal, and also SWOT. For 1st of April, which will be on Wednesday, you will have your reflective essay, which is your tutorial to be due on Wednesday. Okay, and lastly, your 6th thinking hat is due this the following Sunday, which is on 5th of April 2020. Okay, please also remember, I need only one person from each group to join the WhatsApp group. Number 2, please upload your slides on the Google Drive so that your friends can start working on 6 thinking hats already. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for joining me in this journey of online class. You guys are enjoying this. I know deep down you guys are enjoying this, but I don't know if I am enjoying this. But yeah, so if you have any questions, as I mentioned, if it's something private, you can go ahead and email me. But if you feel like it's nothing, please send your questions to your group representative so that your group representative or leader can ask those questions in the group WhatsApp. Maybe some of your friends are wondering the same questions as well. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Have a good lockdown. Please take care of yourself. Wash your hands. Shower 10 times a day. Do whatever you want. Go and watch those Netflix. Enjoy, and please stay safe and stay at home. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day.